In the 4th century BC, a philosopher by the name of Epictetus stated, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the view which they take of them."
Excuse me, sir. What are you doing?
I'll tell you what I'm doing. I want to buy 8 hot dogs and 8 hot dog buns to go with them. But no one sells 8 hot dog buns. They only sell 12 hot dog buns. So I end up paying for 4 buns I don't need. So I am removing the superfluous buns.
I'm sorry, sir, but you're gonna have to pay for all 12 buns. They're not marked individually.
Yeah. You want to know why? Because some big shot over at the Wiener Company got together with some big shot over at the Bun Company and decided to rip off the American public.
I'm going to teach you a simple method to reduce the level of unnecessary disturbance in your life. A method to help you practice stepping back mentally from concerning events and being more curious about how you're viewing them.
George Banks is saying no!
Who's George Banks?
Me!
People generally assume that what happens or occurs causes us to feel or behave a certain way. However, cognitive behavioral therapists and Epictetus assume that there is an important intervening variable between what happens and how we react, and that is what we believe about what happens. We know this intuitively because not everyone reacts the same to similar stimuli. 2 people may react very differently to the same news story or the presence of a particular person, or say, getting some new information from your daughter.
His name's Brian McKenzie, and he's this completely wonderful, amazing man. And, well, we started seeing each other a lot, and we fell in love. It actually happened. And we've decided to get married, which means that I'm engaged. I'm engaged. I'm getting married.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Oh, my. Oh, my. And that's your engagement ring, huh?
Yes. We got it at a flea market outside of Rome.
You'll notice that we're experiencing some different reactions here, but the same thing is being said to both parents. So what's going on here?
Dad, stop it. Say something.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Let's use a simple model, which some refer to as the ABC model, to slow things down so that we can see what might be going on inside George's head. In the ABC model, we clearly separate out what occurs, our activating event, from what we believe about it and how it's affecting us. Well, here our activating event might be my daughter is announcing that she's getting married. And we can certainly see the emotional consequence. We see this concern, shock, anxiety. We can see it right on his face. So our job is to be curious about what beliefs, assumptions, and perceptions might be at work here. Perhaps my daughter is too young to be married, or she can't make sound decisions at her age, or, like many parents preparing for a wedding, this may ruin me financially. As we learn later in the movie, it's more about I'm losing my little girl.
Dad, I met a man in Rome, and he's wonderful and brilliant, and we're getting married.
Mom, what's he doing?
George, what is it?
Well, this is ridiculous.
Whatever the thought, assumption, or belief is, it is these, not the event itself, that will inevitably bring about our emotional consequence, because behavioral responses are often determined by the meaning we assign to the situation. And we see this contrasted well here between George and Nina. Although the same words are being said to both of them, how they perceive the situation becomes the difference between eye rolling and eye wiping.
Use the bad word. You turn on the air conditioner. It's hot in here.
So why might this model be helpful to us? It allows us to identify what is actually causing the distress. It's not the announcement of marriage. It's what my mind tells me this announcement means. Similarly, we may find it's not our boss asking us for an update on that project, or the fact that that person hasn't texted us back, or the unwelcome presence of a daily setback. It's what our brain tells us these things mean. This process reminds us we need not believe every thought that decides to come up in our mind. You try it with this next example.
The beautiful bride. Good news. You have received another lovely, too good to be true silver tea set. What's the matter?
Send it back.
Come on. What do you mean?
Daddy, I'm not kidding. Send them all back. The wedding's off.
What happened? Another girl?
Oh, look at your shirt.
Don't worry.
No, it wasn't anything like that. It started out as nothing really. He gave me a present. It's our 8-month anniversary today. And he gave me this look. He said it was for me, for our apartment. Just look.
It's a blender.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I didn't want to act thrown or anything, but inside I was. I mean, I thought something for the apartment, maybe a new clock or a cool phone or a great art book or something, but a blender? I mean, what is this, 1958, to give the little wipe a blender? I mean, it scared me, you know, in terms of his expectations. You know, I started to freak out, and he asked me what was wrong, and I asked him what a gift like this is supposed to be telling me, and he said nothing, and I didn't believe him, and we got in this big fight. And he said I was overreacting. And I said, why would I overreact? Nobody in my family overreacts.
We don't have to be our thoughts. So for the next week, keep track of your thoughts by using the ABC model. We step back and we ask ourselves, is this true? Can I really know that this is true? How do I know it's true? And this allows us to separate the things that happen in our lives from the unhelpful beliefs or the stories we choose to believe about ourselves and the situations we find ourselves in.